All right, so this is part 2 of our Europe unit. Now, when we move on to the middle countries of Europe, the first one we can look at is France. Its physical geography makes it the second largest country in Europe. It's basically the size of Texas, and it has the northern European plains in it. There is a mountain range that separates France from Spain, Italy, and Switzerland within the country, and it also has some very important rivers in the country. Mostly a mild climate exists in this country, and its economy relies on industries and farming for economic stability. Its main crops that are grown is grapes and dairy, having over 250 different kinds of cheese. They're also very important for cars, trucks, chemicals, textiles, and processed foods. There are over 60 million people within the country, and at least 10 million of them live in Paris. Their ancestry is from the same spot in Ireland, the Celts, but they also have some for the Romans and Germans. Their religion can be Roman Catholic, and many times it's also Islam. Obviously, their main language is French. Their government is a democratic republic with a president and prime minister. But the Benelux countries that are within the middle area of the European country or continent include Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. Belgium has Brussels as its capital and headquarters for the European Union. They have very few natural resources, but they use raw materials to make and export vehicles, chemicals, and textiles. Antwerp is a city within the country, and that's where they actually have the center of the diamond world industry. The three main regions for Belgium is Flanders, which is Dutch speaking, Wallonia, which is French, and Brussels, which is a bilingual area. Remember, it's the capital. In the Netherlands, you have to remember also that the people are called Dutch, not any sort of Netherland change. 25% of this land is actually below sea level, using dikes and dams to control water and flooding. 90% of the population lives in cities with tall, narrow housing, and they export many cheeses, vegetables, and flowers. They actually send out about 2 million tulips per year. Luxembourg is one of the smallest countries in Europe with a mix of French and German population. It is the center of European trade and finance, with multinational companies and firms having headquarters there. Now, moving on to Germany. Its geography is a crossroads for many people, ideas, and armies. The population is at 82.5 million people, and over 90% live in urban areas. And most have immigrated from Turkey or Eastern Europe in the past time. Language and religions are somewhat obvious. They speak German and are mostly Protestant or Catholic. The economy shows that Germany is a leader within the European Union and has a highly productive agricultural society. They are the lead producer of steel, chemicals, cars, and electrical equipment. In 1871, all states in the German area came together to form one country. Look forward to the 1900s. You can see that in an effort to dominate Europe, they created World War I and II and were later defeated in the Second World War. 1945, after the war, the Allied countries, which is the US, Soviet Union, UK, and France, split and controlled the 4 different zones of Germany. But then by 1990, Germany is reunited as one country with a federal democratic republic. Moving on to the Alpine countries, which is Switzerland, Austria, and Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is a small country made up of only 62 miles of land, which is smaller than Washington, D.C. They have a population of 40,000 people, which can't even fill a baseball stadium. Switzerland are the gatekeepers between the north and south part of Europe. They practice neutrality in war. The geography of this country, mountains, show that mountains are isolating Swiss people of different areas, and so that means most cities have their own individual traditions and following. Languages are often bilingual between German, French, and Italian, as well as Romansh. The economics of this country thrive on an industrial nation that goes through hydroelectric power to produce electrical equipment, chemicals, clocks, watches, chocolates, and cheese. They are also known for their safe banking and financial services. Austria itself is a landlocked country. The Alps make it over 3/4 of the nation and providing timber, iron ore, and rivers for power. Languages and religion in this region include German. They practice Roman Catholic religion, and Vienna is their capital, where this happens, near the Danube River, its largest area and city. Moving on to Southern Europe. Spain and Portugal. Spain has 43.5 million people. Its capital is Madrid, and Barcelona is its leading seaport city. Geography shows that the Meseta, or dry plateau, mountain ranges, and reddish-yellow soil are very prominent because it has a poor amount of rainfall. Harvests and produce include things like wheat, vegetables, fruits such as olives and grapes, processed food, clothing, footwear, steel, and cars. Language and religion is where they speak Castilian Spanish, Roman and Catholic as their religion, and Muslim. The government is a democracy since the 1960s. Portugal is another country where mostly people live in small villages and make living off of fishing. Geography shows that most is a lowland split by the Tagus River. They grow grapes and oak trees as a main way of exporting any sort of economics. Their government and language is a democratic government where they speak Spanish. In Italy, we see that the population is 58.7 million people, and 90% actually live in urban areas. The geography is a peninsula that goes into the Mediterranean Sea, and the island of Sicily as part of the country as well. Northern Italy contains the Alps and Lombardy Plains. It also contains volcanoes and has occasional earthquakes. The language of this is Italian, and their religion is Roman Catholic a majority of the time. The economy of this country can change from agricultural development to industrial economy. Cities like Milan, Turin, and Genoa make cars, tech instruments, appliances, and clothing. Small amounts of farming are in those smaller cities and are dedicated mostly to livestock, grapes, and olives in southern Italy. This contains the Vatican City, although the city itself is an independent country, which is about the size of Washington, D.C., and it allows for the Pope and other church leaders to live. In Greece, the population has 60% of urban dwellers, and a third live in Athens just alone in that city. Geography reaches from the Balkan Peninsula to the Mediterranean Sea, and this includes the mainland of over 2,000 islands within the country. Many times this area in this country experiences earthquakes because they are on a plate and they're within many parts of water. Language and religion and government here show that they speak mainly Greek and follow Greek Orthodox Christian religions. Their government itself is a democratic republic, as well as being a member of the European Union, or EU. The economy ranges from different agricultural pieces to textiles and chemicals. They also are very popular for different tourisms. Moving to Eastern Europe, there are many countries here, and some of them are very small. Poland, Belarus, and the Baltic republics. When you look to this country, Poland has the Carpathian Mountains as geography. They are a highland between the south and western edges of the country and mostly have fertile lowlands. This is an area where the majority of the people actually live. For the people themselves, we can see that this is a historical location, meaning that the war happened here often, especially in World War I. And in 1939, the Germans attacked and started World War II in Warsaw, which is the capital, and bombed it later during the war. Most of World War II, the Polish Pope was chosen in 1978, afterwards. Their language is speaking Polish. Their economics is a market economy with agriculture that's important through rye and potatoes mostly, and they have a democratic republic or democratic government. Poland, Belarus, and the Baltic republics. In Belarus, this is near the east of Poland with lowlands as well. Their government is one that has a close tie to Russia, having the country's leader favor a command economy with a government in charge of farming for their economy. Religion includes that of Eastern Orthodox religion, and their resources mean that 2/3 of the people living in cities include minerals involved making fertilizer as well as manufacturing their resources. The Baltic Republic is actually not one country. It involves Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. The geography for this area are aligning with the Baltic shores and sea. They practice mostly Protestant and Roman Catholic religion, and their economy is based on dairy, beef, fishing, and shipbuilding. Estonia has the best economics because of telecommunication. The Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary actually used to be a large part put together. The Czech Republic, its capital being Prague, has rolling hills, lowlands, plains, mountains, and used to be called Czechoslovakia until 1993. The people have a heritage from the Slavic settlements between 400 to 500 AD, and many people prefer high standard living. The economy of this country is a free market economy, and the government is a parliamentary democracy. Slovakia, its Bratislava capital, shows that throughout the country there are Carpathian mountains, thick forests, and it's a popular spot for vacation. Many of its farms and vineyards are near the Danube River to have good minerals and good soil. Languages include that of multiple types. Many are bilingual. Their religion is Catholic, and their government had independence gained in 1993 through a democratic republic and free market economy. Hungary is a Budapest as its capital, and it's south of Slovakia, east of Austria. The geography of this area relies around the Danube River and lowlands. Natural resources like fertile land to making chemicals and food products, as well as industrialization, helps this country have a good economy. Ukraine and Bulgaria. Ukraine has geography in the largest country of Europe with low plains, and it's southwest of the Carpathian Mountains. The Dnieper River divides this country in half. On the west side, it's lowland steppes with rich black soil for farming grains, fruits, and vegetables. On the east side, it has coal and iron deposits to make locomotives and airplanes. People are descendants of Ukraine or Russia most of the time. In Bulgaria, this is south of Romania and Sofia. The geography is mountainous. The economics is one for manufacturing, farming, and tourism, with over 7.7 million people having an ancestry from the Slavs, Turks, and Central Asia. Their religion is Eastern Orthodox Christian. Romania and Moldova are small. Romania has a capital of Bucharest. Its resources include coal, petroleum, and natural gas, and it is a major economic source and commercial area of the south. Their religion is Eastern Orthodox. Moldova is landlocked between Ukraine and Romania. Their people are mainly Roman heritage, and they have fertile farmland, but they are seen as one of the poorest countries in Europe. The Baltic states here at the end are quite a few and very small. There are 8 different ones. In those Balkan states, we can see that geography ranges, and from the Balkan Peninsula, we can see mountains for farming making difficult, and new natural resources all over the country. And that makes it a relatively poor area with communism farmers outnumber the factory workers. And Albania, only European country, it's not only European country with a majority of Muslim religion. Bosnia and Herzegovina, heavily founded by Serbs, call it an ethnic cleansing whenever they were to kill or remove people of an ethnic group. Slovenia and Croatia come together to make many things of their economy, including appliances, vehicles, and medical supplies. Groups of other countries and their facts include ones for Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Macedonia, Serbia, Montenegro, and Kosovo. None of these countries existed until the 1990s, when a large communist country called Yugoslavia broke apart. In the end, there are over 8 countries here that have things in common, but not all of them are exactly the same.